Jack, come on in here for a minute.
No, I want to stay.
Jack, this is Jack Burgoyne. He's the AD at Rutland High School. Jack, the school had to be thrilled with the way Rutland performed last week.
We're very pleased with the program in the way it has played the last 3 years, and we're real happy with the start they've gotten off to. Obviously, there's a lot of skilled kids there and a lot of experienced kids there, and in their sub-varsity records, they've done really well. So, you know, we were hoping that we'd have a good season. We've gotten off to a real quick start, and it kind of helps from an administrative point of view, too, to have the fall teams get off to a good start because it makes a nice, positive atmosphere around the school building.
We might want to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what else is going on at the high school in the way of fall sports.
Well, we have a cross-country team that's doing real well this year. It's the biggest turnout in a number of years, and they beat a very traditionally strong Mount Anthony team in a dual meet last week, and they did real well in the Bellows Falls Invitational previous Saturday. So we're real excited about the runners for both cross-country and what that might mean for track in the spring. Field hockey team is 2-1 right now. Lost a tough game yesterday to Mount Anthony. Has gotten off to a good start, and we're really looking for good things from them, and we expect them to have a real good fall. And cheerleaders, of course, are doing a great job, as they always do. Our JV and freshman football teams are doing real well. Our freshmen are undefeated at 2-0, and our JVs are 1-1. We've got over 100 kids dressed off for football, which we think is great. We've got over 250 kids total out of the building involved in fall sports, and that represents about 1/3 of our population. We're real excited about that.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, you know, you guys have done a great job in the last 2 or 3 years developing these programs, and I know that what John Beerworth has done here has got to make everybody happy. The system looks like it works, and he's just done a great job leading this football team and bringing it really back from a situation that maybe wasn't the best.
He has, and before I forget it, because I just remembered I didn't want to slight the soccer program under Rick Olette. They're young and they haven't won a game yet, but they're coming along, they're showing good skills, and they're involved in the Harry Lazoil tournament right now, so we're excited about that too. And to get back to your question, John has done a great job in 3 years, not only in terms of wins on the field, which sometimes unfortunately is the only measure of success in some people's eyes, and certainly we're pleased with that, but also in the way in which he treats kids and gets kids involved in the program. Like I said a minute ago, we've got over 100 kids dressed off for football, and I think that's wonderful. You know, our numbers are great, the interest level is high, the enthusiasm level is high. He's assembled a great coaching staff that does a great job teaching the kids. Their relationship both on and off the field with the kids is what we want. You know, they're more than just coaches, they're friends, they're teachers, they're confidants, and the kids respect them and have reacted very well to the style in which they're being coached, and the results are showing up on the field. The kids play hard, they like what they're doing, they're having fun, and they're winning.
Sounds great. This is Jack Burgoyne, AD at Rutland High School. We'll be back with a kickoff, Rutland South Burlington, in just a minute. We won't do it. We'll just do Rutland. We'll just do Rutland. It's too late. It's just being introduced on the field. Dominic Paquette will start at one of the linebackers for South Burlington. Wayne, a little windy here tonight.
That could be an understatement. A little windy.
We've had to nail Wayne down tonight to make sure he doesn't fly out of here.
That's right, I have been on a diet.
Your hat just seems to be a problem tonight. Can we keep that hat on tonight, you think?
Yeah, I think it'll stay on for the whole game.
Going to introduce the starting offense for the Raiders. Start at one guard, number 55, Craig Mazriello. Super game. Yeah, super game last week. The other guard, number 63, George Parker. That whole offensive line looked good last week.
Number 51, Keith Parker.
At number 51 at center, junior Keith Parker.
Starting at tackle, number 75, Craig Buzzle.
At one tackle, number 75, Craig Buzzle.
Starting at the other tackle, number 78, Ken Ellison.
At the other tackle, number 78, Ken Ellison.
Starting at tight end, number 91, Mark Kanufsky.
At the tight end, number 91, Mark Kanufsky.
Starting at split end, number 89, Jason Casarino.
At the other end, number 89, Jason Casarino.
Starting at wingback, number 18, TJ Sabatka.
At the wingback, senior TJ Sabatka.
Starting at fullback, number 46, Todd Muscatello.
At fullback, number 46, Todd Muscatello.
starting at tailback, number 42, Jason Sweat.
And the halfback, number 42, Jason Sweat. And did Jason have a pretty good game last week?
Jason had a great game last week, and of course the Raider coaching staff is looking for him to duplicate that this week. I don't know if South Burlington agrees with that, but that'll remain to be seen.
Yeah, he'll have a big one tonight. And the quarterback, of course, Justin Mock. And I got to think that if Rutland gets downwind tonight, they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more. I know that John Beerworth wants to develop that passing game, and Justin can throw the ball, and he's got very, very good receivers.
Well, he looked real confident last week when he did throw the ball, so we'll see what happens tonight, Butch.
We're going to take a minute for our national anthem. Okay, we're almost ready to go here at Alumni Field. The referees tonight. The referee, George Lucia. The umpire, Ted Hopkins. The appeal judge, Brian Haskell. The head linesman is John Wood. And the back judge, Gordon Harlow. Well, Rutland put on some show last week, Wayne. South Burlington had their trouble against Middlebury. I'm not sure what we're going to see tonight, but we may see a lot of what we saw last week.
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks, but we'll have to wait and see when the game gets underway. But the Raiders, we did talk about momentum. We'll see if they can carry that momentum over the last game right into this game. The coaching staff is certainly hoping for it.
Well, you got to believe, all the games are important. Everything makes sense now. You have to win every game you're playing. You've got to beat these teams from the north as much as you can. And more importantly, you've got to win all the games at home. I know John Beerworth has made a special effort this year to impress upon his kids that all the home games are very important. You got to win them all, but it's great to win them at home.
It sure is, and they're going to try to get this one tonight, too, and tuck it under their belt.
Well, Rutland will be kicking off. It's Jason Sweat kicking off for Rutland.
Mr. Everything.
Mr. Everything is right. Back for South Burlington, number 2, DJ Taylor, and number 23, Sean Farrell. Remember, Rutland wins last week 39-0, and South Burlington got beat by Middlebury last week 23-6. And we're just about ready to go. Pretty good crowd tonight, and don't forget, right after this game tonight, we'll also have the MSJ Middlebury game for you.
Tomorrow.
Well, that game will be played tomorrow, but we'll have it for you right after this game. It's getting kind of complicated.
Yeah, we can't do 2 games right this evening.
We're having trouble doing 1 game.
Yes.
This evening. Well, it is windy tonight. The wind has got to be a factor in the kicking game, especially Rutland. It'll be kicking with the wind to its back. The wind is coming out of the west, so it's going right to left on your screen.
Somebody's going to have to hold the ball.
Yeah, it's blowing that hard out here. The grass is a little shorter this week. They must have mowed it because last week it was very high.
Plus the TV people have complained about that grass.
And also, you'll notice we also have the yard markers.
That may help
too. On this side of the field, which will help us a little bit. And there's the kickoff. Sweat knocks it out of bounds on the right. Low kick that time. Sweat kicked very well off the tee last week.
I think what he tried to do was kick it into the wind, only the wind died down and kicked it right out of bounds.
Well, the wind at his back, you'd think he'd want to get the ball up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Or into the wind, either one. Well, we'll do it all over again. There'll be a penalty on Rutland, a 5-yard penalty.
Well, if he gets the ball up in the air this time, they may be picking it up at Arby's.
Well, get a curly fry and send it back over here.
Okay, we'll be ready.
South Burlington's got pretty good size, Wayne. They look kind of small on the field. We're with them on the field before the game, but from up here, they look bigger.
They do. Well, if you remember, I said last week they're a big team. But they're a big school. They got a lot of kids to choose from.
Big school. Oh, we're going to start all over again. It'll be Sweat again.
Now, how about the stats tonight, Butch? Are we going to have a problem?
Well, that's up to you, Wayne. I mean, will you be compiling stats tonight? There's a kick. Not much for
DJ Taylor.
For DJ Taylor. South Burlington will start their offense on their own 20-yard line, 21-yard line. The quarterback will be Phil Joel. They run out of a Delaware set, wing left. Well, you know, we talked about that last week. Joel tried to run the option along the outside. It's just impossible to get to the corners with this MSJ Rutland High School defense.
Yeah, you did talk about that a lot. And when we watched the screen, the play took an awful long time to set up. Actually, Rutland's speed didn't even help them there. They just had to wait for the guy to come. But they aren't going to have much success on the corners.
No, they're not. The running backs for South Burlington tonight will be 21 Dominic Paquette, number 22 Brian Comer, and number 30 Jason Anderson, the fullback. Phil Joel brings him up again. Loss of 1 yard on the play. Hand off to the fullback, Jason Anderson.
Not much there in the middle.
Well, but that's where you've got to attack, I think, the Rutland defense. You're not going to get to the corners. They got too much quickness at the corners, and you've got to see what you can do inside. But I got to tell you, with Muscatello and Mazzariello in the middle, it makes it even tough there.
Well, the only place that Brattleboro had any success last week, although they didn't have a lot, was they did get a little bit in the middle.
And that's about all they got. Joel again, split backfield. Nothing there. Muscatello again. Joel looking to the corner. It looked like he was looking for Rob Dragon, but Muscatello put the big rush on. Big loss. Looks like it's going to be 4th and about 20. And Rutland is starting where they left off last week against Brattleboro.
Yeah, and they like to keep that momentum going.
Joel will do the punting for South Burlington, and Burgoyne is single safety back for Rutland High School. And Rutland's going to end up with great field position again. Kicking into the wind, big bounce for South Burlington. It's going to die at the South Burlington 45-yard line. I tell you, it's a tough way to start the game, kicking from your own end zone into a very strong wind. Rutland had no way they were going to get bad field position that time.
No, they're starting out, from a good spot, and as we know, they've got a pretty explosive offense anyway. And if you give them the chance to, get a little closer to the end zone, that could spell trouble, but we'll see what happens.
Mock's going to bring him up. It's going to be Justin Mock, number 4, Jason Sweat, 42, 46, Todd Muscatello. At the wing will be TJ Sabatka. Muscatello lines up right behind Jason Sweat. Hand off to Muscatello. Well, pickup of 10, maybe 11 yards. I think I said Jason Sweat. It's obviously Justin Mock. Todd Muscatello, no one touched him until he got to the defensive backfield.
No, he went right through unscathed. I don't think anybody laid a hand on him.
It'll be 2nd down and short yardage for the Raiders.
Boy, tough mark. That looked like he had gotten the first down. Well, it's
wow.
2nd and about an inch, it looks like. But Sweat brings them. Mock brings them up again. I get them confused with him. Nothing inside. But a first down for Rutland High School.
Well, Craig Santinello read that one pretty good. He got in and slowed him up, and then the rest of the interference caught up with him.
Well, they had the short yardage offense in, obviously. They only needed a foot.
21, Dominic Paquette for the last play.
Just a Mock over center again. Muscatello again right behind him in the Delaware formation for Rutland High School. Sabatka's the wing on the right. He's in motion. And there's Sweat to the outside to the corner. Well, that's that little counter they ran last week to a great deal of success behind Mazriello and Buzzle on their right side, and you get Sweat just a little opening, and he's going to be awfully tough.
Well, we talked about this last week too, Butch. You're not going to be able to bring those guys down with arm tackles. You got to have to hit them, and the second guy coming in has got to finish them off.
Yeah.
That was a classic case there where the first guy just couldn't do anything, and he was looking for help. Sweat broke away from that.
Well, one thing showed last week a lot was Rutland's backs don't go down after the first hit.
No, they don't.
Again, we've got wide right, Sabatka wing left, handoff to Muscatello. Nothing there. Pick up of about a yard.
Stop by Dragon.
Well, I tell you, Rutland's did last week. They try to stretch the defense a little bit. They go outside. They try to come back inside. I gotta believe Rutland's going to throw the ball somewhere down here. You know that John Beerworth wants to get Justin Mock a little room to throw the football.
And this is a good place to do it right here.
It's a great place to do it. Sweat along the right side. Good block that time by Mazriello. Pickup of about 5, maybe 4.5. It'll be third and either a long 5 or 6 yards.
A gain of about 4. It would be third down and 6 for the Raiders.
Thank God for that PA announcer again. Boy, he's really helpful.
Carl Doty split right. Pitch to Sweat. Pretty good block by Muscatello.
Jason Sweat on the carry.
Well, he's going to be, it looks like he may be just a little short of the first down.
Anderson for the Rebels.
Looks like it's about 4th and 1.
Brought down by Santinello again, but it also looks like Sweat could be the workhorse again this evening.
Well, he's going to carry the ball as much as he can. There's no question about that. They're going to give it to Muscatello inside to try to loosen everything up inside, but when they want some big yardage, it's going to be Sweat, I'm sure. Jason Castriano split left. He's got Muscatello, Sweat in the backfield. TJ Sabatka, wing right. And there's Sweat. Little dive over the right tackle. Touchdown, Jason Sweat. Well, blocked that time by Craig Buzzle.
Yeah, we can't forget the line. The line's doing a good job, but it looks like it could be the mirror of last week's game.
Well, Rutland can move the ball offensively, you know, and I thought about Fredette in the paper this week, and it was good to see the Herald writing about this game tonight. He was very, very correct about that offensive line from Rutland. It's a young offensive line. They're going to develop. You know, nobody talked too much about it. They're not real big, but they're playing very well. And the 3 games they played this year, they've done a yeoman's job inside.
Yeah, they look great. And they are sometimes the unsung heroes of the game.
Well, they always are the unsung heroes. Sweat now for the point after. It's good. Line drive, but it's good. And with 6:23 to go in the first quarter, it's Rutland 7, South Burlington nothing. Are you actually keeping stats, Wayne?
No, I'm writing a letter to my daughter. It's the only
tell
time
her I said hello.
I will.
You might remind you too that Joe Courcelle is on the camera tonight. Bruce Nelson producing this.
He's trying to keep the electronics in good shape.
I wish he'd stand over here to get me out of this wind.
He also told me very clearly that if it starts raining, the electronics, they can't get wet, so it's all over for you and me.
What do we have to do, like lay over them or something?
No, it's over. It's over.
It's over?
It's over.
Which probably is good news.
Good news for the people watching.
That's what Rutland will be kicking off from their own 40. Again, back for South Burlington. Number 2, DJ Taylor. And number 22, Brian Comer. Well, Rutland scored 39 points last week. They scored 26. Got that somewhere. Against Rice. Obviously, this is a team that can put points on the board.
Only had to be 1.
Hey, let's quiet down over there.
And they seem to do it with ease.
Well, you know, when you've got this kind of a running game, it makes it a lot easier to run the rest of your offense. When they decide to throw, it's going to be a lot easier.
Great
Sweat.
kick.
Good kick with the wind to his back. Comer on his own 5. There's nothing, absolutely nothing there.
Number 22, Brian Comer.
Steve Carey there for the Raiders. And again, South Burlington starts about on their own 20-yard line. Maybe 21. Maybe 17.
And one thing I'm sure the Raider defensive coaches are really pleased about is that when the Raider team makes a tackle, there aren't too many red shirts standing up. They're all after the guy.
They swarm. They hit you with everybody. It's a very good defense for Rutland High School. Jason Anderson. And again, if you're going to attack this, I think if you're going to attack this Rutland defense, it's going to be in the middle.
Yeah, it'll be a long, drawn-out affair, but if they are weak, and I really don't think they are, that's where you can hit them.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're going to sustain a drive against the middle, but that's where you're going to try to get to if you can. Again, it's Phil Joel over center. Handoff again to Anderson. Stopped by Mazzariello. Pretty good pickup that time. Close to a first down.
Real close.
Actually, he may have it.
And Anderson's a big kid, Butch. He's 6'2", 190. That's a pretty good sized man to have in your backfield.
Yeah, he really is. And he's the guy that's obviously going to try to wear the middle of that Rutland defense down because Rutland is not big in the middle. Mazzariello's not big. Carey's a pretty good sized kid. Muscatello's not a real big kid. Very quick, very good hitters, but not real big.
But that's where that swarming defense comes in. If you're small in the middle, you get a lot of help from everybody else.
First down for South Burlington. Their first down of the game.
I'm not even going to bother keeping these stats.
Well, you did such a great job keeping them last week.
That's their first down.
That's their first down.
I'm writing that down right now.
We'll remember that, I'm sure. And again, Joel brings them up. 1st and 10. On the Rutland 25-yard line. Again, it's Anderson. Nothing there that time. Mazzariello that time with Sweat was over there and a bunch of Muscatello was over there.
And a bunch of Muscatello?
Well, that's what I kind of think about him. He's a bunch of Muscatello.
Well, that's what the offensive player thinks.
There must have been more than Muscatello out there. Pretty good crowd here tonight. This is a fun football team to watch.
Yeah, they are. It really is an exciting team to watch.
Joe with a one-back offense. It's Anderson right behind him. Gives it to the motion man. It's Comer. Oh, nothing there. You're just not going to run the corners against this football team. You're just not going to do it. Joel Hector was there. Doty was there. Muscatello was there. Burgoyne was there.
Well, they cover real well, and they don't cheat. They stay home and make sure. That was a kind of a reverse.
Well, Comer came from the wing, but when you give Rutland room to run, when you let those corners and those linebackers run, they're going to beat you to the corner. Inside, at least, they have to react quicker. I mean, it's a bang type play, but the corners, you give them time to react, and it's just not going to happen for you. Delaware set now for South Burlington, 2-man backfield. Joel rolling left. It's the option. And there was Burgoyne again on that right side. He tried to option it out to Dominic Paquette, number 21, but
that's a dangerous play.
Yeah, that's especially in your own territory. But I got to tell you, unless they can throw the ball, and we don't know if they can, their options are pretty slight. I'll tell you what. 4th down, and again about 25. Remember last time they had the ball, they had a 4th and about 20. Joel again back to kick for South Burlington, and again single safety. Burgoyne. Last week, T.J. Sabaka was there with him. Line drive kick, by the best you can expect into the wind. Good bounce for South Burlington, though.
Almost on the 50.
Well, it stops at about the 49.5-yard line, so Rutland again will take over in South Burlington territory. 1st and 10, Rutland High School.
At the Rebel 49-yard line.
I see we got the sign over there for the Alfie Walterscheid fan club, number 88. Good to see that the fan club is out.
He doesn't need that much help, but it is good to see that fan club.
Well, it's a fan club that's growing. It's a grassroots now, but I understand there's thousands of people trying to get in.
Who knows?
Justin Mock again for Rutland. Pitch out to Sweat, left side. Cuts back in. Good play that time by South Burlington. made him turn back inside. Last week when he turned back inside, he had some room to get back outside. That time the pursuit by South Burlington was excellent. Nowhere to go.
He did try to cut it back, and they just caught up to him.
Loss of 2 yards. Well, we've seen already this South Burlington defense is a better group than the Brattleboro defense last week.
Is Butch yelling?
My microphone seems to move all the time.
It's cosmic. Ooh, Burlington was there again.
Again, nothing there in the middle.
Actually, South Burlington was there too.
Yeah, because if Burlington was here, you know, they'd have a longer commute, I think. Again, it's Steve Carey, who last week had a couple big runs. Again, Rutland trying to run the football. We know from talking to John Beerworth before the game that they want to throw it, especially when they're downwind. They are downwind. I think it's time.
This is really downwind.
Jason Casarino in the game now, brought a play in from the bench. He'll be split on this side.
3rd and about 14.
TJ Sabatka on the wing on the right. Both very good receivers. And there's Carey again. Pickup of maybe 5 yards, and it's going to be 4th and 10 for Rutland. Very conservative.
Yeah, I am surprised too.
Especially talking before the game. I thought Rutland would come out throwing the ball downwind. Because you're not going to throw it into the wind, I'll tell you that. Tonight.
Well, if you do, it isn't going to go very well.
It's going to be short passes.
It looked like Joe Capps passes.
And they were end over end.
Ooh.
Well, Swell will be back. He'll be punting for the first time tonight.
Well, South Burlington got the stop on that one. They're going to make the Raiders punt.
Comer and it's Comer and Davis.
Ooh.
Tackle that time by Luke Delphine for Rutland. Good hit by Delphine.
And a flag on the play, too.
Flag down. Must have been some type of offensive penalty, a hold or a clip, because that's normally what happens on the kicking game.
It happened so fast. It looked like the defensive player ran into the offensive player, pushed him right into the ball carrier.
Well, I'll tell you how deep Rutland is the running backs. Luke Delphine, who made that tackle last year, was a star running back on the JVs. They made him into a guard this year and a defensive linebacker. So this team obviously is pretty deep with running backs.
And it's nice they can switch them around.
Well, it's nice they can get a kid with that kind of speed on the kickoff game and the punt game and get coverage like that. Well, it's a big penalty here. Wayne, did I see a rule book with you tonight?
Yes, you did.
So there's nothing we won't be able to say tonight.
We can say almost anything.
We'll
because
know everything tonight.
Yep. I'm going to bring it out at halftime, maybe read a couple paragraphs.
Maybe read the first couple of chapters to us.
I will.
Now, does this book have pictures?
Oh, I hope so.
It's Joel again for South Burlington. In motion, Comer. Hand off to Anderson. Wow. Hello, how's the family? Good hit that time, the middle of that Raider defense.
The handoff to number 30, Jason Anderson.
Well, it looks like that's where the South Burlington club wants to attack the Raiders because, like we said, if they're susceptible anywhere, it could be in the middle, but...
Not anymore. Well, Rutland's made the adjustment. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Rutland 7, South Burlington nothing.
Here we are back.
We're back. Joel over the ball for South Burlington. Nothing there again. It was Comer with the reverse. Nothing there for South Burlington.
To number 21, Dominic Paquette.
I guess it was Paquette that time for South Burlington.
Rutland tackler George Parker.
I knew it had to be one or the other. George Parker with the tackle for Rutland.
A loss on the play.
A little delay.
Down and 11 for the Rebels.
Nothing there. Well, I guess South Burlington's not going to throw the ball this deep in their own territory, but I got a feeling if they're going to move the ball, it's going to be through the air.
And those delays aren't going to help because it just takes too long to have that play set up.
That's right. 3rd and 10. Joel rolls right. Fumble. Rutland. Touchdown, Rutland High School. Looked like South Burlington was trying to set up a screen pass to this side. Rutland's rushed absolutely too much. Looks like it was Doty with the recovery. So Rutland scores offensively, they score defensively. Got to question that call by South Burlington. You almost got to get the ball out of there. Rutland's pass rush is just too tough.
Well, that's true. Rutland put a tremendous pass rush on, but if the quarterback really sees he's in trouble, he could throw the ball to the sidelines and get rid of it. So you lose a few yards, but you don't give up 6 points.
Yeah, he didn't have any time at all. When he turned to come back to this side,
there was nothing there.
Yeah, he had 2 guys in his face. Sweat again for the extra point. That was better looking. It's good. Well, we've got 11-12 to go in the second quarter. It's Rutland 14, South Burlington nothing. It's been a game of field position. Rutland's had very good field position so far in the game. South Burlington's had very bad field position, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Sure does.
Well, defensively, this is a better football team. I'm talking about South Burlington now. This is a better football team than Brattleboro was last week. They've got to develop some type of offense, and this is going to be a very long night for South Burlington.
I think it is. You're going to have to come up with some great conversation here.
Some snappy stories.
Yes, you are. I've got a great one about Joe Courcelle. We'll wait till maybe halftime. You know what happened there? The Rutland defense wants to get, they want to get into this. So the Raider offense kept scoring so much last week. The Raider defense wanted to get into it. There you go.
Jeff Sawyer just gave us a couple of candies. Thank you, Jeff Sawyer. He's on the camera for Rutland High School tonight, filming the game. And Joe Courcelle, of course, our cameraman, doing an unbelievable job again out here tonight.
He's happier too.
Well, Rutland's going to be kicking out. He wasn't real happy last week, was he?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't happy Friday, but we let that slide.
He didn't like the moonshot.
No.
But he didn't have to do it.
That's right.
We didn't twist his arm. Kick out by Sweat. Good kick.
He's down. He's down.
Smart play that time, too, by South Burlington. Number 26, Farron Salisbury. Good kick that time. You don't want to get up in the air because the wind is in your face, so you kick it down, kick it at somebody, and maybe you get yourself a fumble. Good play by Salisbury that time just to take control. And,
yeah, he trapped it real well. He tried to get up and run, and he probably forgot that if you got a knee down, that's it. That's where the ball's dead.
South Burlington, their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
The wind is unbelievable.
A lot of wind tonight. Joel over center. Anderson behind him. Hand off to Anderson. Nothing there. Well, if they've had any offense, it's been Anderson tonight.
Anderson on the carry.
Well, he's got to be the go-to guy. He's 190 pounds, but like we mentioned, how often are you going to be able to do that? And can you sustain a drive up the middle all night long?
Well, you've got to establish something else offensively. I mean, Rutland now has basically just said, look, if you're going to run, if you're going to try to run the middle, we're going to take your area. We're not worried about the corners. If you're going to beat us, throw the football, and I don't see them looking to throw the ball yet. Comer split left for South Burlington. Joel drops back, straight back, looking. Nothing there.
No one there.
Nothing there.
Not only nothing, no one.
And Brady 6, Rob Dragon, was the closest receiver. And Wayne, that's not the type of pattern that's going to develop anything. It's got to be a quick 3-drop set, find a tight end like we talked about last week.
Over the middle,
something quick, because you've got to stress that defense a little bit. If you don't, they're going to just come back at you all night.
And that's what they're doing. They're teeing off. They're coming in all night. They'll be coming in all night long.
I mean, those type of patterns just take too long to develop. And Rutland is sending everybody because they're not worried about them running against them. They've proven that they can stop the run.
Well, and two, if the guy does catch the pass, Rutland's got the people that can catch up with him.
Well, they've got Sabatka back there playing free safety, and he's as good as anybody going at the ball. Again, it's Joel looking. Well, it's got to be tough to throw the ball with somebody red in your face. Doty that time all over Joel before he tried to throw the football.
And he was blocking his vision to the receiver too, which compounded the pass.
Again, it was that roll left, trying to come across your body again, and it's just too tough to complete those type of passes.
I just think that's hard. That's a hard way to throw anyway.
It is.
If you're having success.
Joel back
throwing.
now, punting for South Burlington. This time Sabatka and Burgoyne back for Rutland High School. Joel with the wind to his back. Pretty good kick. It'll be Burgoyne. It'll be TJ Sabatka on the reverse. He's got some room on the left side. Sabatka at the 45-yard line of South Burlington, brought down by Jason Anderson.
Well, the Raiders like that little reverse to TJ, and it worked once against the Rice Little Indians, and they were trying to experiment it right here with the South Burlington Rebels, and they almost got away with another TD run.
Well, they do it all the time. I mean, they don't always hand off to each other, but they fake it all the time. You don't see straight reverse or straight returns from Earl High School. It gives the defense something to think about.
Especially with two speedsters.
And they are speedsters. Okay, it's Muscatello and Mock over center. Hand off to Burgoyne. Burgoyne will pick up maybe 3 yards.
Burgoyne on the carry.
Brought down
by Ed Bruley.
And Rob Dragon was there too for South Burlington. Be 2nd and 7. Doty in the ball game now for Earl High School. Kanufke is tight end on the right. Sabatka is right with him. It's Burgoyne and Muscatello in the backfield. Mock calling signals. Doty split left, and it's Muscatello. And nothing there. Well, South Burlington, I tell you, they're showing us something, the interior of that defensive line.
Well, they got a couple of big kids, and they can do the job. They just need a little bit more help. But when they hit you, they stop you.
Well, Rutland has not tried to throw the football yet tonight. It's been all running for Rutland. They're ahead 14-0.
You know how I know that, Butch? Because I have it written down right here that Rutland ran the ball 11 times in the first quarter.
That is unbelievable.
They didn't even try to pass.
What information. I hope people out there are taking notes tonight. That'll be a quiz later. A foul, a penalty on Rutland High School.
That was a dead ball foul.
Down at about 14.
2nd down and 14 for Rutland High School. Into the wind, and it's a pretty good wind. Doty will be split right. Kanufke is the tight end on the left with Sabatka at the wing. Muscatello and Burgoyne at the backs. Mock calling signals. Mock with a flip to Burgoyne. Oh, he's got the corner. He's got more in the corner. Burgoyne made the cut outside. No one was there.
About a 30-yard, 25-yard gain.
Pickup of 30 yards for Burgoyne. Well, that's what we waited for last week for him to get to the corner, because once he's there.
And it also looked, I was watching the TV screen on this, Butch. It also looked like he might have had the defender beat again, and he always looks to cut back inside.
Well, once he gets outside with his speed, he's a track star. He owns some state Vermont records. He's a tremendous speed, very strong, very quick. Rutland's got the ball now on the South Burlington 22-yard line, 18-yard line. Sabatka in motion. Mock looking. Well, that was an odd-looking play. Mock rolled right. Looks like he wanted to throw the ball. Good coverage by the South Burlington defense. Hesitated just a little bit.
Well, he hesitated just enough for Jason Anderson to come in and catch him.
A loss of 1 on the play.
So Burlington can get in there when they have to.
So can South Burlington if
they
were here.
Yes. And that was Jason Anderson, who's been the workhorse for the South Burlington Rebels on offense. He made that nice play on defense.
He's made most of the plays defensively, too. Again, it's Mock with Burgoyne and Muscatello. Jason Castriano split right. Hand off to Muscatello. Muscatello to the 4-yard line.
Tough run. Good run, Muscatello.
Again, it looked like he was going to be tackled on about the 10.
That's a classic example that these Raider guys don't go down with the first guy that hits them. They're just tough. They keep those legs pumping. You got to hit them. You got to gang up on them, take them down. Not true that time.
Timeout on the field. Looks like South Burlington wants to talk this one over. John Beerworth now running on the field for Rutland High School. Well, this is a very impressive Rutland High School football team. You can't say enough about them. You don't want to get too excited too early, because obviously they played a Division II team in Rice, and they should beat them. They played Brattleboro last week, and obviously Brattleboro may be having a down year. South Burlington looks like may have their problems offensively, but I'll tell you what,
they're looking really good.
Pretty good. It's fun to see our high school team this good this early.
You're right, and they are looking good. This is just a carryover from the last week's game, and that momentum has carried. We keep talking about it all the time, but I think it works. They're starting to feel good about anything they can do now.
Well, you know, Rutland last week ran for 266 yards. The week before against Rice, they ran for 290 yards. Jason Sweat has 229 yards already in this season rushing, and whatever he's got tonight. This team can move the football.
They can move the football. We don't know how tough the defenses are that have faced them, but in spite of that, these guys are just running roughshod over, well, all the teams they've hit so far.
Burgoyne, the up back now. Kevin Burgoyne. Hand off to Burgoyne inside. And again, South Burlington playing tough inside the tackles defensively.
Justin Fox, hand off up the middle to Kevin Burgoyne.
Pickup of maybe 3. Second and goal.
And South Burlington can tighten up when they have to. It's just they get a little lax, and then Rutland will run one of those coming off the wing with Sabatka or Burgoyne. Gets to the corners.
Well, they got so many weapons. I mean, they can hit you from anywhere. Casarino split right. Canuffy the tight end left. And there's Muscatello inside again. Again, very little yardage. It's going to be 3rd and goal. It looks like they're on the 5-yard line. Well, Rutland had everybody on the left side of the offense that time. The tight end was there, Sabatka was there, Burgoyne was there, and they went that way with Muscatello, but to South Burlington's
they jammed.
advantage, they jammed them up. 3rd down and 5. You would have to think this is 4-down territory, though, Wayne. You got to believe they probably go for the field goal.
Oh no, I don't think. Well, it's 14-0. They probably wouldn't go for the field goal. They're too close.
Sabatka in motion. Mock. Complete. Touchdown, Rutland. Burgoyne. Well, we knew Rutland was going to throw the ball eventually. Nice throw that time. Nice pattern by Burgoyne. Good throw by Mock. If you're going to throw the ball, it's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's always good to complete him. He threw it a little bit high. Burgoyne had to jump to get it, but he was there. He was open. Nice pass by Mock. Again, Mock fading to his left and throwing.
Across his body.
Every pass play, it seems like every pass play the Raiders have, Mock is running to his left.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. They've tried to run one other pass play that they went to the right, but they didn't get the ball.
Didn't get it.
Well, Sweat's in for the extra point. It's 20-0, Rutland High School. Sweat's up, and it's good. And with 5:41 to go in the first quarter, it's Rutland High School 21, South Burlington nothing. You know, I love in the second quarter. You know, I love Rutland High School's pep song.
Pepsi?
No, the pep.
Their pep song.
Their pep song.
You're not going to sing it tonight.
No, I wouldn't, but I love it. I like that a lot.
Could you hear it from here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Well, I've been listening to it for a lot of years.
Yes,
but
you have.
I really like the way that sounds.
It's a great pep song. I like it myself.
It's not a pep song. What would you call it? It's not a pep song. What would they be? It's a pep.
It's a pep. P-E-P. Pep song.
Is that what it would be?
It may not come out clear on the TV, but it is. It sounds like you're saying pet. And you don't like pets, do you?
No. Well, I have one.
You have one. But this is a pep song.
So we got that kind of cleared up, don't we?
That is cleared up. My lips are sore.
Well, South Burlington's got to start something, or this is going to be a long, long night for everybody here. Number 22, Brian Comer. And number 2, DJ Taylor. Are back for South Burlington. DJ Taylor, my dog, is JD. I just reversed those.
That's right.
And you've got it covered. Jason Sweat now will be ready to kick off for Rutland.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. I think he's on Woodstock Avenue with that.
Kick is out of bounds.
That almost went into my mother-in-law's kitchen.
That was pretty close.
Wish I was in my mother-in-law's
kitchen. If you're going to
kitchen.
kick it out of bounds, let's kick it out of bounds.
I wonder if the people can hear the wind on the microphone.
I think probably they can. Well, we're going to tee it up again. Another 5-yard penalty. That's twice that Jason Sweat's kicked it out of bounds.
Well, we got to cover up for Jason. The wind is really blowing up here.
It's really blowing now. South Burlington has the option of taking the ball where the ball went out of bounds, and that's what they're doing. So they'll have the ball really in their best position yet on the 32-yard line, their own 32-yard line. Joel brings them up again. Anderson the back. He's been all the offense tonight for South Burlington. Comer in motion. It's Anderson again.
Anderson on the carry.
And nothing there. The inside of that Rutland defense.
Number 64, John Casarino.
Casarino and Mazriello and Carey.
Second down and 9.
Muscatello in the middle of that defense.
Well, you can just pick a name and they'll be there. That's that swarming defense that the Raiders are employing.
Timeout on the field.
Flag down.
Well, John Casarino is clapping. Must be something to happen, and then it's South Burlington. 5-yard penalty.
This isn't one of those equipment penalties, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's
5 yards, Mark.
Offside. Encroachment, I guess.
well, it's encroachment when the defense does it. It's offside when the offense does it.
Well, it was one of those.
Down and 14.
Of course, you know that's a penalty that they don't tell you to move back if you're lined up offside. That's
Yeah. See, I think they should give him one chance. I think they should tap him on the helmet and say move back.
it. Me too. Well, we've got a little more stoppage on the field again.
Another flag down.
Wayne, have you got that rule book out yet?
Yeah, but see, I
Another
don't.
5-yard penalty.
See, I'd get it out, but see, I'm not in favor of this rule. I mean, these are high school kids. We talked about this last week, 15, 16, 17 years
They're
old.
not calling. That's not an offside penalty. They're calling before they even get to the line of scrimmage. It must be.
Yeah, because they're lining up over.
Oh, that's awful. No, we can't do that anymore. I don't like that one.
I think they should go tap him on the helmet and say move back, and then if he does it again, then it's 5 yards.
Absolutely. Well, that's 2nd and 20 now for South Burlington. They don't need this. Again, it's Anderson. And again, there's nothing there. Well, if you're going to run the ball with 2nd and 20 to your fullback, I think Rutland's going to let you do that all night.
Sure they are. And the poor Rebels, they started out with the best field position they've enjoyed all night long. What do? They get 2 5-yard penalties to set them back, start deeper than they really wanted to start.
Yeah, and they're really foolish penalties, too.
3rd down and long.
Well, I don't know if they're foolish. I just don't like them.
3rd and 16. Comer in motion.
You think we look pass?
Well, that's the same play that South Burlington tried to run when they fumbled in the end zone. Joel tried to get the ball to Clint Rye on the left side. It's a semi-screen pass. So you try to get a couple guys out in front of you and go, but that play was doomed from the beginning.
Well, and they had 2 Raider defenders standing right there. If he had caught the ball, he would have lost some more
How many
yardage.
times have we said you can't get outside on this team?
Say it one more time.
I'm not going to say it again. You got to throw inside. Joel kicking for South Burlington. Pretty good kick. Burgoyne again. To Sabatka again. Yardage again on the left side. Flag down. Sabatka's got a man beat. He beat Joel the kicker. He's going to score, but we got to come back and see what the penalty is. Great run by TJ Sabatka.
There's a flag right on the 50-yard marker.
Right on the 50-yard line. Well, let's see what this one is, because great run by Sabatka. He had one man to beat, the punter Joel, and he made mincemeat out of him.
Well, Joel overran him, and Sabatka just gave him a little fake cut inside.
Well, South Burlington says it's against Rutland High School, and the South Burlington coach sitting next to us has a smile you can't slap off his face. And that one's going to come back. Well, good run that time.
No, that was a great run.
Sabatka.
Great run by TJ to be nullified by a penalty.
Well, obviously a clip or holding. A hold. That's what it was, a holding penalty.
Well, a holding call against the Raiders.
Well, Rutland starts in their own territory.
10 yards marked off on the play.
Their own 41-yard line. Let's see who they've got for running backs this time. It's Sweat's back in the game. Sabatka's back in. He's got to be a little winded. Carey's a fullback this time. Bach, of course, the quarterback.
And Carey did a great job for him last week, when he came in.
Casarino split left. Pitch to Sweat. Back inside. Oh, I love the way he finishes a run off. Good run by Sweat that time. Pickup of 8.
Flag down by number 23.
Well, the initial contact, they hit him on the 45. He carried him another 2 yards, Butch.
Yeah, that's the way you want to finish off a run. Konofsky coming out of the game now. Number 83, Tom
Newfer.
In a tight end now. Castellino split right. Newfer's a tight end on the left. Sabatka the wing on the left. Sweat and Carey are the running backs. Mock is the quarterback. Again, fumble.
Just fall on it.
Good play by Sweat just to get on it. Good play. You know, a lot of kids
We'll try to pick it up
and run, and that's not a good idea. I mean, how many times you see somebody who's got an easy recovery try to pick it up, they overrun it, the defense picks it up, and suddenly you're in trouble. Good play by Sweat.
I think what you do, if you can think that fast on your feet, it's a botched play. Don't botch it up anymore. Fall on it, recover it so that you can have possession.
Yeah, you're right, Wayne. And it's now 3rd and 7 for Rutland into the wind. Pretty good wind blowing from the west. That's right to left on your screen. Sweat rolls right, looks inside. Oh, I had Newford too inside. Pretty good pan on that time. Would have had the first down, but looked
Pass
like
was a little bit low.
Yeah, looked like he tried to throw it off his back foot a little bit. Didn't set.
He did.
Didn't set himself and throw. Looked like he had time to do it.
Well, I already recognized the problem with that. He faded to his right. He only throws from his left.
That'll teach him. Well, I think he had more time than he thought he had. He
did.
had time to set up and throw the ball in there.
And his man was wide open. It just it hit him in the shoelaces, and he almost made a great catch. Now the Raiders are facing 4th down. Sweat will be doing the punting.
Taylor and Comer back for South Burlington. Sweat again, punting into the wind. Ooh, he rolled it through the line. And a good recovery by South Burlington. That's dangerous. I mean, he hits one of his backs. Or he hits anybody. You know, it doesn't go very far. Of course, on the other hand, if he hits somebody from South Burlington,
this is true.
The ball's alive.
But that was a low boot.
Well, you want to kick it under the wind, and I think that's what he obviously hit a knockdown football that time.
And I don't know if you've noticed it.
I have.
The 3 times that Rutland has punted so far, they're all high snaps again. Remember, they lost one last week against Brattleboro with a high snap.
That's right. Phil Joel calling signals for South Burlington. Drops, rolls to his right, pressure, pressure. Oh, Joel, he got out of the pressure. Well, you got to give him credit. Fumble. South Burlington recovery. Well, pressure from the whole side of that left side of the Rutland High School defense that time. For Joel's credit, he kept his composure.
It looked like he was going to get out of it. Then he looked up to pass the ball again, brought it back in, and then that's when the whole defensive interference caught up with him. 2nd down and about 18. And how many times, Wayne, tonight have we seen South Burlington with 2nd and a lot? Too many. I'm sure it's too many for the South Burlington coaching staff.
1:15 left to go in the 2nd quarter. 21-0 Rutland. Comer in motion. Handoff to Anderson.
He's a bull. He's a load.
I'll tell you what, Craig Buzzell almost took that handoff.
He did.
From Joel. He got in there quickly. Doty with the stop for Rutland High School. You know, it's not just one kid defensively for Rutland either. There's a bunch of kids. I mean, you just don't hear one name making the plays.
Well, obviously, that's why they call them a team, huh? And that's why they're doing well.
Very well put, Wayne.
Oh my!
And that was Muscatello again. Again, Doty in there. Number 83, Newfer in there again. They obviously know the snap count because they're in there before Joel even gets away from center.
They're just having their way defensively tonight.
Well, it's 4th and maybe 21. Rutland calls a timeout. There's 22 seconds to go in this first half. Obviously, they want to get the ball back again with time to score.
20 for the Rebels, with the Raiders calling a timeout on the play.
Well, is this where we send 11 man to rush the punter?
Well, you know, we thought that last week in a
they ran the clock out on us.
Situation, and they didn't do that. I would guess they tried to send somebody in. I mean, they're kicking downwind. South Burlington is, so you're probably going to get a pretty good kickoff, and you got to expect you're going to get the ball about your own 40, 35 yard line. But of course, on the other end of it, Rutland's had some success tonight running punts back.
They have.
TJ Sabaka, the last time he touched it, took it about 60 yards for a touchdown, but it was negated by a holding penalty.
Well, they're going to set up in their return defense.
Sabatka Amber going back. It looks like it's going to be a normal punt return for Rutland High School. Joel will do the punting for South Burlington. Burgoyne and Sabatka on their own 40, 35-yard line. Good punt by Joel. Good punt by Joel. Well, he's smart. He kicked it out of bounds. No return that time. Where are we going to mark it?
Pretty close to the 40, I think.
The 40-yard line. Well, good play by South Burlington. They didn't give Rutland a chance to run it back. They knocked off about 5 seconds off the clock. Rutland's got to go 60 yards for a score, and let's see what they do.
We're ready for whatever they do.
You got to believe they're going to throw the ball here, Winston.
Maybe not.
Have you got that rule book yet?
Will you stop bothering me about that rule book?
Well,
I've got it. I've got it.
I'm excited.
I've got it under all these
and you
papers.
kept stats, too.
Yeah, but
wow.
We won't be talking about those too much.
Rutland would split on both sides. Mock goes straight back. Looks like a screen. Too high for Muscatello. Well, I guess that's a pretty good play with this wind. You get the ball to Muscatello. You hope you get a couple linemen out there in front of him.
Well,
it picks them up.
And they do set up that screen pass very well.
11 seconds ago in the first quarter. Excuse me, in the first half. Second quarter. I'm kind of confused tonight. Must be this wind.
Well, I'll tell you, to keep stats on the Rutland High School offense, I need a computer up here.
Well, we'll get you one. You know, this operation spares no expense. We'll get you one for
I need a computer.
We need a table. Again, it's Mock. Mock throwing against the grain to Sweat. No way there. Sweat's got a chance to outrun everybody. And he's going to outrun everybody, but there's a flag down on the field. Great play by Rutland High School, but again, a flag down on the field. You got to believe there was someone downfield, one of the linemen downfield too early for Rutland High School. Mock rolled right, threw the ball across the field. No, defensive penalty. Illegal use of hands against South Burlington. Touchdown, Jason Mock. Justin Mock to Jason Sweat.
That's right.
60-yard touchdown pass. Nice play, very well developed by Rutland High School.
Well, that was a payback. Poor TJ he lost his TD, so they got it back this time when Sweat picked it up. A nice pass by Mock. Jason, he outran the defense, made a nice little cut towards the end. Another 6.
Well, he rolled to his right. The entire South Burlington defense went with him.
Threw it to his left.
Sweat just kind of drifted out to his left. A good pass into the wing because it was a long pass.
It was a long pass.
It went about 10 yards, but it had to go about 30, 35 yards in the air. And touchdown, Jason Sweat from Justin Mock. And Sweat will try the extra point. A low kick, that one's not going to count. Well, that's the first half from Rutland High School. It's Rutland 27, South Burlington nothing. This sounds like last week's game, but pretty much all Rutland the first half.
Well, this is almost a carbon copy of last week's game. We hate to keep harping on how good the Rutland offense is, and they can light up the scoreboard. But I mean, what are we supposed to do? It's 27-0 here at the half. They've done the same thing to South Burlington that they did to Brattleboro. Hey, we're just bringing it to you the way it happens.
Well, we'll be right back. Right now, the Rutland High School cheerleaders are performing at midfield, and we want you to take a look at them, led by Coach Marie Birkenhead.
The great Rutland High School cheerleaders, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch them for a minute.
It's too bad we have to watch them from this end.
I know it.
I'll tell you, this crowd here is turned on by them, though. They do a great job. We mentioned their coach, Marie Birkenhead, always does a fine job with the Rutland High School cheerleaders. We talked a little bit about them last week. Why don't you rename them again and tell the people a little bit about them?
Well, I'll name them again this week, but we've got an extra in there this week because Carrie Honas, she suffered an injury last week because these cheerleaders, like we mentioned, they work just as hard as the football players, and standing in for her tonight is Krista Altrui. But the rest of them are Diana Hubbard, she's a senior. Carrie Honas, who we just mentioned, she's on an injured reserve list, Butch. Nicole LaHoulier, she's a senior. Then we got Jennifer Mayhew, Anne-Marie Durfee, Amy Ferrani, Stephanie Stein, Jennifer Allen, Sarah Christie, and Kelly DePoy. Kelly DePoy being the sophomore on the squad. And I would also like to mention last week when we talked about Diana Hubbard, I would like to mention again that she was selected by the National Cheerleading Association to cheer at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. And if any of the people listening out there would like to help her to defray some of the costs, Diana Hubbard and the whole Rutland High School cheerleading squad and Coach Marie Birkenhead, they would certainly appreciate it, as I'm sure the whole Rutland High School would.
Where would you send contributions, Wayne?
I think you should send them to Coach Marie Birkenhead, care of Rutland High School.
Okay. Well,
can we give them like a little hand, Butch? The cheerleaders, they did a great job.
They really did. They're very good, and it's always fun to watch them at halftime. They work hard, and this is really during the season their one chance to really show how hard they do work, and it really gets the fans excited, and it's nice to see. Big crowd here tonight. They're kind of spilling out over to the side. Not as much activity on the sidelines tonight, though, Wayne, with coaches and scouts and other people.
That's right. We haven't seen too many. Well, I think if you've seen the Raiders twice, you've scouted them.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Well, let's get back to the game a little bit, Wayne. Again, Rutland doing it on the ground tonight. The big touchdown to Sweat late in the first half, but it's been on the ground tonight again for Rutland. They're trying to establish a running game. They've had some success inside, not a lot, but they can get outside, it seems like, whenever they want.
Well, and we talked about, you and I thought that Rutland might try to air the ball out a little bit tonight. But in the first quarter, they didn't attempt one pass, and in the second quarter, they ended up throwing the ball 6 times.
Isn't that amazing?
So they did experiment a little bit with the pass in the second quarter, like we talked about, and Coach Bureworth said that if he did get down, would you want to try it? But I'm still completely amazed how all those good passes seem to coming when he's throwing the ball across his body, with the exception of the last one when he hit Sweat. But he did have to throw that across the field.
Yeah, that was a tough ball to throw because he did throw into a pretty good wind.
Stiff wind.
And you guys, you got to be careful too, because I mean.
Can we show the people? Look at this wind.
You're throwing.
Joe, look at that wind.
And the other amazing thing, Wayne, is you still have your hat on.
That's a test. This is a test. I'm doing a test for the cable TV.
Are you pretty successful so far with it, or?
It has been.
So far, no problem with the hat?
Well, that super glue certainly helps.
We'll have a little trouble taking it off after we get done.
No, we'll be all set.
Wayne, if you're South Burlington now, you're Coach Picard, and you bring your team into the locker room at halftime, and you try to get them ready to play second half, what do you tell them?
I got to think this one over.
Well, don't think too long, because we haven't got a lot of time.
I think what he's going to say is that we did have a little bit of success with Anderson in the middle, but we aren't going to live by that. We are going to have to establish a little bit of a running game so that maybe our passing game can get on track offensively. I think defensively, if they can handle the speed, which is going to be tough, they seem to be doing okay inside. Rutland can't run too well on them inside. Muscatello's been pounding the line pretty tough, but South Burlington did hang in there pretty good on that. I think they're going to have to tighten up a little bit more on defense and hopefully try to contain that speed that Rutland's got, especially on the punts and the kickoffs.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that no team, and we've only seen them twice, obviously, but no one has tried to get the ball in the middle of the field against Rutland High School.
No, they haven't.
Every pass pattern they've run has been deep patterns, takes a long time to develop. I still believe in high school football that little dump to the tight end over the middle is the toughest play to stop, because you're asking a kid to react quickly, that middle linebacker.
Right. And it does happen fast.
And especially if you fake the dive first and hold that linebacker, just fake the dive first.
Just for that 1 second.
Stand up and throw the ball to tight end. We saw Brattleboro try it once late in the game last week. It worked.
And it worked.
And we haven't seen anybody do it at all this year. Rutland doesn't even do it much. But Rutland can hurt you a lot of different ways. They don't need that quick of a play to get.
No, they don't. And the other thing is, we do talk about coaches making an adjustment at halftime, but I mean, I'm sure they're saying, maybe they're saying the same thing we are. You know, we're gonna have to try this. But it just may be an impossibility. I mean, they are trying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to believe that they've got that play in their repertoire. They just haven't done it. Defensively, Wayne, and we'll talk a little bit about John Beerworth in a minute and what he's probably telling his kids in the locker room. But Rutland's defense, I mean, is awesome too strong of a word?
Well, we don't want to overdo it early in the season because we're not sure of the caliber of the teams that they've played. But then on the other hand, you don't want to downplay the Rutland defense. It's hard to measure because we haven't seen the teams that they've played muster any kind of an offense so far. But it's probably attributed to how tough that Raider defense is. They definitely are a swarming defense. There's never two men tackling. There's always 4 or 5. You watch any play, there's very few Raiders still left standing on their feet.
Well, you know that South Burlington has negative yardage in the first half. I mean, you don't go through many halves with negative yardage, and you got to believe. I mean, with all the times they were 2nd and 20 and 3rd and 25 and 1st and 15.
That's not by chance.
I mean, those, you got to believe there's negative yardage. I can't wait to see the stats after this football game. Of course, I know you're compiling them as we speak.
The papers are ruffling here in the breeze.
I was afraid there was a spark there for a minute. They were going so fast, but you got to believe this defense is as good as it gets.
Well, and they seem to be getting better every week. Of course, it's game time too. They're going to get more experience. We talked about that a little bit earlier, that they're going to get more experience with the game, and along with that experience, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable with what they do. I mean, they can almost pick any defense they want, and it seems to work.
Well, quickness does wonderful things for you, doesn't it? And when you've got it, you know, you can do so many things defensively and offensively that you just can't do without it.
Well, you can shoot those guys in there like Muscatello, because if he misses, he knows he's going to be backed up with, you know,
that's right,
two of the fastest kids in the state.
That's right.
I mean, you'd hope that won't happen.
And they're not very big. Rutland's defense is not very big.
They aren't a big team, but they are hitters, and they help out. That's one thing South Burlington hasn't done tonight, and that's one thing Brattleboro didn't do last week. They never tried to finish the runner off. Rutland is always there with 2, 3, and the 4th man always hitting the runner.
Okay, now you're John Beerworth. You know, you've just come off a 39-0 win. You're 2-0. You come and play South Burlington, who's traditionally a very good football team. You go in the locker room and you're up 27-0. I mean, how do you keep the kids' interest here? I mean, what do you do?
Well, I think this is when you try things. But I also think that one of the biggest fears that coaches have is you can't ever let up that intensity, because that's when injuries happen. You know, it's that when you think you can just stand there and let somebody else do the play, or on defense, even though the Raiders don't seem to do that very often. But if you think you can stand there and maybe let the linebacker make the play and you're playing deep, somebody can get back and blindside you and, you know, kick your legs out from under you, you can get injured. So I'm sure Beerworth is telling these kids, look, let's keep that intensity up. Don't let down. Let's just do the same thing we did in the first half.
Well, yeah, and if they do the same thing they do in the first half, it's going to be a long second half for South Burlington.
And I also think, I think Coach Beerworth, we may be seeing some new faces in the second half.
Yeah, you got to believe that. This is a great opportunity to get some kids to play like last week, late in the game. We saw
and
a
it
bunch
certainly
of
can't hurt your program. There's no substitute for game experience. I don't care how many practices you go to and how good you look in practice, there's absolutely no substitute for game experience, because the guy across from the line from you isn't the guy you walk to school with. Is that profound?
I mean, that was as deep a thought as I've ever heard come from you.
I've done some serious reading this week, but it is true. You know, there's no substitute for game experience, and of course the other thing is, these kids that don't play a lot, they practice just as hard as the guys that are out there, you know, busting their.
Well, 17 seniors, 16 juniors, and 2 sophomores make up this Rutland High School football team. So you know that all the kids that get work at games like this are going to be the seniors next year who are going to have to be counted on to play. Wayne, we're going to take a break right now for a public service announcement. When we come back, we'll have the second half between South Burlington and Rutland High School. At the half, it's 27-0, Rutland High School. We're back. Rutland High School on the right side here, just loosening up. South Burlington's already on the field, and they've done their pre-half exercise. Just quickly, I'd like to go over the schedule for Rutland High School. Tonight, of course, it's South Burlington. They go on the road 2 weeks in a row. Next week, Mount Anthony. Should be a big football game. 7:30 start down in Mount Anthony, down in Bennington. The week after, Middlebury, again a 7:30 start on a Friday night, the 28th of September.
And that's an away game, too.
That's an away game. Then they come back home to Montpelier, away at Essex. Should be a big football game, and again a night game. Back home again to Burlington for Haven. And then MSJ, the 27th of September at 1:30 in the afternoon, the only other daylight game Rutland will play this year.
Yeah, and important for the Raider team and the coaching staff, the last 3 games are all home games. Of course, the MSJ game is, I mean, that's never really away, but because it is in Rutland, but it's still a home game that's going to be at
they'll play it here.
Field. And it's going to be a day game.
And talking about MSJ, right after this game on Channel 15, public access television, tonight we'll be showing the MSJ Middlebury game. So you want to stick around and listen to that.
It'll be real exciting.
It'll be exciting. Yeah. That'll be exciting. Middlebury, of course.
Well, they beat South Burlington.
Week 1 beat Brattleboro, then last week beat the South Burlington team. So they're 2-0 going into the MSJ game. MSJ 0-1.
And MSJ's obviously going to be making some adjustments from that first game when they played Mount Anthony, and we talked about that, you know, last week, Butch, that they had a major problem with the exchange between the center and the quarterback, and they've been working on that all week, plus a few other changes on defense. So we're looking forward to seeing a good game between the Mounties and Middlebury.
Yeah, obviously, I got a feeling they're going to make a couple changes offensively, and it'll be interesting to see tomorrow if they do that. But defensively, you know, you got to believe MSJ is going to be strong defensively, no matter who they send out there.
Well, Mount Anthony didn't have any success running against them, and of course that's been the Mounties' forte for years. You know, as you said, they have those linebackers cheating up on you, and they dare you to pass the ball. And the only success that Mount Anthony did have is they did pass a little bit on them.
Okay, we're about ready to get started here in the second half here at the Alumni Field. South Burlington will be kicking off. Back deep for Rutland High School is TJ Sabatka, who had a 60-yard punt return call back, and Kevin Burgoyne. Both with a lot of speed, both with a lot of quickness.
And that's a case where you can't kick it away from one to hope to get it to the other, because either one can burn you.
Yeah, they both can scare you. The shorter backs are Todd Sawyer.
Would you call them shorter or up backs?
Well, up backs, shorter backs. And Todd Sawyer and Joel Hector. Of course, Todd's father, Jeff, is on the camera tonight for Rutland High School. You'll probably get a couple close-ups of Todd when he's out there.
Well, he hopes so.
South Burlington kicking off with the wind behind them.
Nice kick.
They're kicking to Sabatka. The reverse again. Burgoyne knocked out of bounds on his own 25-yard line.
Sabatka handing off to...
And Burgoyne gets up limping.
He's limping a little. He bobbled that handoff a little bit, but he managed to pull it back in.
Now let's see who Rutland starts with in the second half. It's going to be Mock, the quarterback. Jason Castlerino will be at one end. It's Konufke, the tight end. The backs are Sweat and Muscatello, just the way we started. The center is Keith Parker. Hand off to Sweat. Hand off to Sweat. Well, I got a little help from the referee that time. He bumped into the referee, but Sweat gets to the hole so quickly, and he's through the hole so quickly. It's amazing to watch.
And all the Burlington defenders are they're looking at the back of Sweat's shirt, because that's all they've seen all night is the back of him.
He's got a Sweat shirt?
They're looking at the back of Sweat's shirt. How about that?
I thought he had a sweatshirt.
Well, he probably does, but he doesn't have it on tonight.
Well, you'd have to call it a sweatshirt because that's
it's his.
It's his shirt. Well, Rutland had a little trouble inside in the first half, running inside the tackles. No trouble there with Sweat. Again, it's Muscatello. Muscatello, pretty good yardage. Pick up about 4 or 5. Well, they switched it. The first half, it was Sweat outside, Muscatello inside. First 2 plays from scrimmage, it's been Sweat inside, Muscatello outside.
That's pretty hard to say.
And I'm not going to say it again.
So that's Sweat's shirt.
It's a sweatshirt.
Gain of about 4 yards on the play will be
Pick up a 4.
And again, the Raiders sticking with the running game.
Well, again, they're into the wind. If they're going to throw, you think they'd throw with the wind on their back, but not tonight.
Yeah, but then, see, the other team doesn't expect it.
Sabatka, wing right. Good throw, good catch, Konufke. Konufke with the reception. He's down at the South Burlington 32-yard line. Mock rolled right, just lofted the ball up. Konufke had his man beat, threw the ball in there, and that's the passing game that John Beerworth has been looking for.
And so much for you saying they're going to pass into the wind.
Very embarrassed.
Nice pass, good catch. He shed one tackler and picked up another 4 or 5 yards. Good run.
Well, Mock took his time that time. He set up, he threw the ball, he threw it with touch. He didn't try to zip it in there, and it's good play.
When he takes his time, he's dangerous.
Hand off to Sweat, left side. Good block by Mazriello. Sweat's got the corner. Well, it seems like we can say it all night, Wayne. Good block by Mazriello. Sweat's got the corner.
That's it. It's run left, run right. Another first down.
Another first down. Pick up about 20 for Sweat.
Three plays. Run, pass, run. 3 first downs. Well, whatever they talked about at halftime, it's working.
It's working. Looks like it's on about the 14-yard line. 13-yard line of South Burlington. Casarino splits right. Sabatka wing left. Muscatello and Sweat in the backfield. Mock over center. Handoff Muscatello. Oh, that's just too easy. Touchdown,
wow.
Muscatello. No one touched Muscatello until he got to the goal line. That's too easy. Well, whatever adjustment Rutland made running inside worked.
Wow.
14-yard touchdown. Todd Muscatello. 33-0. Rutland High School. Sweat will try to kick the extra point.
Well, you got to feel a little bit bad for the South Burlington Rebels, but Rutland's just making it look so easy. They just seem they can pick out any play that they want to run, pick up a first down or a TD. All Rutland, Butch.
Well, this is a pretty balanced Rutland attack. They can run, they can throw, they can run inside. They play very good defense. You hate to, glow too much, and a very good extra point by Sweat. I mean, that would have been good from 35. But,
yeah, that was a good punt. Good kick.
You just got to be impressed with the way this football team
handles themselves.
I mean, this is just a good football team.
And they share the wealth.
And it's
offense, defense, share the wealth. Everybody's in on all the tackles on defense. Everybody gets involved on offense. How do you defense a team when they've got so many weapons on offense, Butch?
Yeah, I know. That's the trouble. And I think they really haven't even used the passing attack much. I mean, I think Mock is a quality passer. He can throw the ball. When he takes his time and reads the defenses, he's going to do very well. And that's a dimension of their game they haven't even used much now.
You're exactly right. That is a dimension they haven't used, but they're working on it every week. It just seems that if they want to do it, they can do it.
Kanufke, the tight end, got deep, made the big reception. They threw the touchdown pass to Sweat on a little swing pass across the field at the end of the first half. They've thrown a touchdown pass, a little out pattern at the goal line when he had to throw across his body. So they've thrown a little bit, but nothing like they can throw. I got to believe it. This is a team I think that gets in trouble on the ground, can develop a passing game pretty quickly.
Oh, sure.
It's Sweat now. Good punt, good kick by Sweat, low into the wind. It's Taylor, and there is nothing there again. That time it's Carey, and we call Carey's name a lot on special teams.
Well, he can do it for him offensively and defensively. I think Carey's pretty fast. If you see him in offense, we talked about him last week. All he does is he comes in, you hand him off the ball, and he picks up 8 or 9 yards for you.
Yes, he does.
How valuable is that to have somebody sitting on the bench?
And he's a junior running back. Again, it's Anderson and Joel. Joel, the quarterback, Anderson, the fullback. He's been all the offense for South Burlington tonight. We're talking about Anderson. And it's Anderson again. And there's nothing there again.
Absolutely zero.
Anderson on the carry.
Doty playing very good defensively in that left end position tonight. He's been a lot of tackles and put a lot of pressure on Joel tonight playing quarterback.
Loss of a yard of the play.
He seems to be in his face all the time, and that's got to be real nerve-wracking for the quarterback.
Carey goes out. Defensively, we've got Hector and Sawyer and Sabatka and Sweat, Muscatello, Newfer, Mazriello, Buzzle, hand off to Comer. Hand off to Comer. Well, these kids are getting punished. Last week we talked about how Brattleboro's backs were being punished.
Teaming up on the tackle.
This team is being punished tonight.
It's a carbon copy. And on that play, Butch, there was like 5 Rutland players on the defense, and there's the South Burlington players were standing around.
Tyler Trombley is in at right end now for Rutland High School. Newfer is in there. Sweat. Muscatello and Newfer, the linebackers. Joel. Oh, Burgoyne. Oh, he had it read perfectly.
He wanted that.
Yeah, he looked like he could see the end zone there. Burgoyne made a good move on the ball in the corner. And again, those quick corners, it's tough to get the ball out there. You better, if you're going to throw the ball and that kind of a pattern,
you better get it there fast.
You better get it there quick is right.
And Burgoyne was looking at 6 then because there was nobody between him and the,
you gotta
and the end
believe
zone.
It. Burgoyne on that corner, that outside linebacker on the left, and Sweat on the right side, just very quick. And Sabatka and Burgoyne again deep for Rutland High School. Joel will do the kicking for South Burlington. Low kick for South Burlington. Sabatka let that one go that time. That's going to be blown dead at the 39-yard line of Rutland High School. Last week, late in the game like this, Sabatka decided to test himself and almost got caught.
Well, I don't think that's a good habit to get into because you may someday get into a game where you really need that ball. And when you start fooling around when it bounces, I think you should just let it die. Hope your offense can carry you from there.
Well, Mock comes back out as quarterback for Rutland High School. Number 86, Adam Colte comes in at tight end. Jason Casarino splits right. Burgoyne's the running back with it looks like Steve Carey. Hand off to Burgoyne, nothing there. Fumble, but the play has been called dead.
He was down, he just grabbed it.
Good hit by Anderson that time, and Anderson's played great both ways for South Burlington.
Well, he's doing it on, he's doing it offensively and defensively. He's the workhorse in there, but I think he needs a little, he needs a little extra help from the cast.
Luke Delphine in there now on the offensive line for Rutland High School, and so Steve Plachette. Number 51, Keith Parker is back in at center. Plachette comes out. Number 70, Tyler Trombley at one tackle, holding against Rutland High School. From the site of infraction. So it'll be 1st and 20. Well, from the few times tonight, Rutland's been pushed back a little bit. Doty now splits right. Joel Hector on the wing left for Sabatka. Burgoyne the fullback. Pitch to Burgoyne. Burgoyne to the corner. Nothing there. Pickup of...
He might have picked up 5 or 6.
Maybe 5. Of course, that's not bad. It's hard to say nothing there. Pick up 5 yards. We're getting spoiled, Wayne.
Yeah.
If they don't go 20 yards, we don't think there's anything going on.
Well, he's just going to have to dig in.
What's the matter with these people? Number 14 now, Justin Anderson in the football game. He'll be at one of the tight ends.
Big boy, Justin Anderson.
Rutland going with 2 tight ends. Doty on the left side and Justin Anderson on the right side. Joel Hector in the wing. Mock looking deep. He's got Justin Anderson. Anderson had beaten his man.
Incomplete.
Number 26, Farron Salisbury. Justin's a junior, good basketball player.
Nice try by Justin Anderson. He stretched himself out. The ball just went right between his fingers.
Good throw by Mock.
Good throw. Just a
That
little.
was the pass they completed to Newfer earlier in the game. Or was it Kanufke? It was Kanufke.
Now, if that ball was round, Anderson probably would have caught it.
And dunked it probably.
Yes.
Casarino splits right. Hector's on the wing on the left. Again, Mock rolling right, getting chased, throws back inside. Good catch by Anderson. Good throw by Mock.
Complete this time to Justin Anderson.
Not quite enough for a first down, though. He's going to be short for about 3 yards, but pretty good catch by the junior.
Nice catch by Anderson. He had to dig that one a little bit out of the turf, but nice catch.
Good
nice
throw
back.
by Mock, throwing against his body. 4th and about 3. Rutland will probably punt the ball away. And they haven't done this very much tonight.
No, they haven't.
Of course, the last time Sweat punted the ball, he almost kicked it into his offensive line.
And the wind is just starting to kick up again.
Boy, I'll tell you, it is windy tonight, but it's nice wind tonight.
It's balmy.
Warm.
It's
balmy.
warm.
Warmy, yeah.
Warmy?
Warmy. Uh-oh.
There's
Bad
a-
snap. Sweat. Good kick, good recovery. Rutland High School bounce. Well, I tell you what, a lot of South Burlington players were hanging around that ball. I'm not sure that's what they wanted.
No.
Because what happens, Wayne, if they touch that ball?
They better jump on it.
Because?
Because it'll be their ball.
It's a free ball, right?
Yeah.
Are you paying any attention to this at all?
Yes, I am. No, I was still amazed that Sweat had the presence of mind to not run out of there and not get too excited.
Well, I think we talked about last week. You know, his instincts probably tell him, let's run the football because we can get it there. But good recovery. That's actually the best punt he's had tonight.
And how about talking? That's that high snap again off from center.
Yep. Pitch out to Comer off the wing, right side. Hector comes up, makes a tackle. Pickup of maybe 2.
Hector on the tackle.
Well, that's about as much room as they've had on the corners tonight.
That's it.
Pickup of, well, maybe 1.5 now.
Comer on the run for South Burlington.
Picked up about 3, 2.
Again, Todd Sawyer at one corner and Hector on the other. We've got Burgoyne and Carey and Luke Delphine in there. TJ Sabatka. Justin Anderson playing a little defense. Handoff inside again.
Not a lot there.
Not a lot there, but at least they're going forward. I mean, it's good to see that they've got at least less yardage now than they've had in the past. Who else is in there defensively? Tyler Trombley for Rutland. He's a 5'10", 210-pound sophomore. He's one of the 2 sophomores on this football team.
3rd down and 6.
And this is a great opportunity for him to get in there in game experience.
64, John Casarino played great tonight. We haven't called his name much, but he's played great defensively. Joel rolling right, throwing deep. Well, that was a prayer. Trying to get the ball to number 88, Clint Rye, but he threw in the double coverage. Hector was there. Todd Sawyer was there.
And Justin Anderson was running the quarterback down.
Yeah, and Justin Anderson was rushing the quarterback. Tell you what, Joel was throwing the ball off his back foot. That ball should have been intercepted, I think.
Yeah.
Threw it a long way though, downwind.
It did. Threw it a long way.
Well, we got 4th and 6. Fake punt, you think, Wayne?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say no.
Timeout on the field. They maybe want to talk about this a little bit. I mean, they haven't got much to lose. They're, you know, down by
34.
And it's 4th and 6. And
well, I think they want a timeout for 2 reasons. The quarterback got hurt on that last play.
And he is also the punter.
and he did take a little extra time to get up. Plus, they might be talking about, you know, the short snap to.
I think you're right. I think because he got shaken up a little bit, if he's the punter, he better get his senses back because he's going to have to punt the ball.
Senses?
Senses.
Okay. Well, he can get anything back, but he's still going to have to do the job.
He's still got to get the job done.
But he did get a little shaken up, and he's up and ready. He's all right.
Oh, we have a different punter, Wayne. Number 10, Scott Conant will do the punting. Pretty good kick, low line drive, Sabatka. Burgoyne with the handoff. Burgoyne goes back inside. If he gets outside, he's gone. Well, he couldn't quite get outside. South Burlington reacted better downfield than I thought they would, but Burgoyne again, good return on the punt. And he gets up limping a little bit.
But Burgoyne and Sabatka on those punts and kick returns, they just scare the death out of me.
Boy, out of you?
Out of me.
How do you think South Burlington feels?
Yes, that's why I'm glad I'm up here. They're just so explosive, so dangerous when they get that ball.
Well, we got a new quarterback, Ken Bates, 6'2", 185 pounds, junior. We're running the offense now for Rutland High School. His backs will be Carey and Burgoyne. The wing on this side will be Joel Hector. Split end on the left side will be Jason Casarino. Hand off to Carey. Fumble. We'll see who picked up. Rutland's walking out the field. Looks like South Burlington. Well, in a night that not much has gone right, South Burlington can be happy that that happened.
Yeah, and that might just be something as simple as new quarterback, and Carey hasn't carried the ball at all tonight. I don't want to sound like I'm double talking Carey carrying the ball, but it might have just been something as simple as that. They just couldn't get the exchange right.
That could be. Well, the new quarterback, the new running back, you're absolutely right. Now let's see who's in defensively for Rutland now. It's Sabatka and Sawyer. Who else we see? Anderson, Burgoyne, Carey. Whoa. Well, that time, Rutland was in the backfield before they handed it off. Anderson's lucky he didn't fumble that.
Keith Parker on the tackle.
Keith Parker, the junior center, playing some defense. Tommy Hector in the game now for Rutland High School. He's a junior.
And the Raiders are just shooting in there at will.
Number 91, Mark Konufke in the football game. Justin Anderson, Hector, Burgoyne, Sabatka, Joel Hector, Dolphine. Movement.
Yeah, it looked like the Raider might have moved.
On the play.
Well, South Burlington, I think it's going to be, what's that? It's going to be encroachment against Rutland High School, or is it going to be offside movement against South Burlington? Looks like offside. You were right against Rutland High School. The left side, somebody on the left side.
Yeah, it looked like
5 yards marched off against the Raiders.
Well, it's second and
Down at 9 for the Rebels.
it looked like Keith
8 yards.
Parker. Looked like he jumped just a little bit to get. He was trying to second guess the quarterback, try to get in there on the guess the count.
over the ball, Steve Planchette for Rutland High School, defensively. Steve Planchette. Hand off to Comer. Nothing there.
Super on
Ooh.
the tackle. Dominic Paquette with the carry for South Burlington.
Paquette with a tackle.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 9.
Just
Third
about
down.
a minute left in the third quarter.
Third down, 9 yards to go. 1:01 to go in the third quarter. Rutland High School 34, South Burlington nothing. Hand off to number 26, Farron Salisbury.
Hand off.
Pretty good yardage.
Farron.
Probably the biggest run from scrimmage for the night for South Burlington.
Ball close to a first down.
Muscatello's still in there defensively. Konufke's in there defensively. Dolphine, Hector, and Hector. The two Hector brothers are in there.
Hector and Hector.
Hector and Hector, law firm. Joel and Tommy. Joel's a senior, Tommy's a junior. I think we talked about last week, Tommy Hector can move on the football field too. He's pretty quick. He's not
fast.
very big.
But we talked about that.
Tommy's 5'6", 150, but very quick.
First down.
I'd rather have quick than big.
I'd rather be quick than big.
Yard for South Burlington.
4th down and a yard. Timeout, South Burlington. They want to talk about it. Well, maybe not. Looked like
Looked like he
Joel
was
was trying
signaling
to
for a
call
timeout.
TJ Sabatka back all by himself. There won't be reverse this time, Wayne. Joel
Ooh.
almost blocked. Good rush by Carey. Carey almost got it and hurried Joel enough to really make a bad kick. That was about a 20-yard kick.
All the Raider defenders that time, not even down in a 3-point stance, they were all standing up, just running in. And you know,
47 in Raiders.
it's almost academic here.
Well, Rutland will start at their own 47-yard line. There's 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. 34-0 Rutland High School. It's been all Rutland High School tonight, offensively and defensively. Some new kids. Ken Bates again, the quarterback.
I'm throwing my stat book away.
Adam Coley's the tight end on this side. Jason Casarino, the split end on the left. Looks like Chuck Gallagher, run of the running backs. Joel Hector in motion. Gallagher, the running back. The other running back is Richard Bassard. He's a 5'7", 155-pound junior. You know, you're used to seeing more sophomores on varsity football teams. That's a pretty good sign for Rutland that they can keep the sophomores playing together on the JVs. Number 58's in there, Ryan Greeno. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score Rutland High School 34, South Burlington nothing. We'll be right back after these messages. Bates drops back, throws to Casarino. Pretty good throw by Bates. Casarino with enough for the first down. Casarino's first catch.
And I'll tell you, Jason Casarino can catch the ball. You get it anywhere near that kid, he can catch the ball for you.
Yeah, Casarino's a good athlete, good basketball player.
Great basketball player. He's got those good he's got good athletic instincts, and like I said, you get the ball near him, he's going to catch it for you.
Doty in the game. He'll be end to the left. 33 Richard Bassard is one of the running backs. Chuck Gallagher the other running back. Joel Hector on the wing on the right. Ken Bates a quarterback. Bates is 6'2", 185 pounds. Hand off to Bassard. Not much. Little inside trap that time, Wayne.
They almost ran into each other there a little bit.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Rutland Travel Company. Rutland Travel Company with 2 locations on the East Ridge Professional Building on Route 4 East in Rutland, and now the GE Credit Union Building at 30 Allen Street in Rutland, Vermont.
It's also being brought to you by the Fairhaven Post Office.
Fairhaven Post Office.
On 1 Marble Street in Fairhaven, Vermont.
Absolutely.
Boy, do they do a great job over there.
They do a great job. They lick stamps better than anybody I know.
It's unbelievable.
Bates now hands off to Bassard. Oh, look at the Bassard.
Nice run.
First down yards for Bassard, and he doesn't play much, Wayne.
Hey, we said it last week. We'll say it tonight. We'll probably be saying it all season long. They just keep bringing them off the bench. These guys do a good job. They work hard. Here we are again. Nice pickup.
5'7", 155 pounds, but you know, it's not even the pickup that you're impressed with as much as the quickness he shows once he hits the hole. Like the acceleration there. Want to remind you of this camera work tonight by Joe Courcelle. Unbelievable job tonight by Joe Courcelle.
I'll reserve my comment.
Hand out to Bassard again. Whoa. Hit very hard that time.
No, you're right, Butch. I talked to a few people this week that saw the Raider-Brattleboro game last Monday night, and they didn't say too much about the announcers, but they did say that the color and the clarity in the picture was really good, and you're absolutely right. Joe Courcelle's doing a good job.
And of course, producer Bruce Nelson.
Without
whom none of this would be possible. It's Gallagher and Bassard. Hand off to Gallagher. Nothing doing inside. It's going to be 3rd and long now for Rutland. 9:29 and counting to go in this football game. Rutland High School 34, South Burlington nothing. Give a lot of credit to South Burlington. They're still playing defense. They're still hitting hard. Number 88, Alfred Walterscheidt, now in the football game for Rutland High School. Of course, we saw earlier the Alfred Walterscheidt fan club. Walterscheidt split right. Bates tripped over his guard. And of course, in high school, once your knee hits the ground,
that's it. That's where the ball is. Now, how would one go about joining the Alfred Walterscheidt fan club? Who would you write to?
Well, it's a very involved experience. You'd write to Jeffrey Paul, care of Adelphia Cable, Rutland, Vermont, and he'll send you the official Alfred Walterscheidt
T-shirt
and application form.
There's no fee for this.
There's no fee for this. Of course, unless we start selling T-shirts, and then there will be a definite fee. But we are a non-profit organization. Sweat took his time. Pretty good punt. Oh, that was going to jump into the end zone, though. Tried to get the ball to the corner. The ball jumped, and South Burlington will take over on their own 20-yard line. .808 to go in the 4th quarter.
Again, I'd like to remind everyone that
I notice you're watching the clock a lot more now.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody knows how much time is left.
True.
Again, next week, Rutland High School goes to Mount Anthony for a big showdown, I think. That'll tell a lot about both ball clubs, I think.
Well, I'm sure Mount Anthony has improved, you know, over the weeks too, and they're awful quick too. So it'll be a match of speed.
Joel still the quarterback for South Burlington. Handoff up the middle to number 32, Tyron Gagnon.
Gagnon.
The quarterback, again, Matt Joel, the brother of Phil Joel.
Joel?
Joel, J-O-Y-O-L.
Like Billy Joel?
Same pronunciation.
Yeah, it's different spelling,
but
same pronunciation.
This is the brother of the quarterback who started the game. Kind of keeping the family. Comer on the right. Oh, Comer.
Nothing there.
Nothing there. Who is there for Rutland?
34.
Steve Carey, number 34. Also, Justin Anderson was there.
I like that Steve Carey.
I like that Steve Carey a lot. I think Alfred Walterscheit was there too.
Well, he has
number
to be
88.
there. Alfred has to perform tonight.
The Alfred Walterscheit fan club in full bloom here tonight.
Full bannered.
What a good kid Alfred Walterscheit is.
Nice kid.
I like him a lot. Joel calling signals. Paquette in motion. Hand out to Pyre. Pitch to Paquette on the left side. Well, a little bit of room. Now fumble. I think it had been called that already, though.
Yeah, I think the whistle had been blown.
Well, the crowd seems to be sticking around for this, and they want to see the end of it. I think they want to see if Rutland's going to score again. This, you'd think the crowd would kind of thin out, beat the traffic.
No, I'll tell you one thing that'll keep a crowd any game is to light up the scoreboard. They love to see it. They love to see it put the points up.
Now, Wayne, what will we be doing? Like grabbing a pizza when we're done here tonight, or?
I hope so. Maybe a back massage. This chair is like unbelievable.
South Burlington, a punt formation. End over end. Sabatka's going to watch it go out of bounds. They're going to place the ball at the 45-yard line, 44-yard line of South Burlington. 34-0, Rutland High School.
And a long night for the South Burlington Rebels.
I think tomorrow we're going to get a chance, and we'll show it, of course, after this game. We're going to get a chance to talk to Jack Healy before the game. That should be an interesting discussion.
One of the all-time, probably the best sports broadcaster that I've ever met.
In Vermont, anyway. Maybe New England. He is as good as they come, I think.
I know he's the best sports broadcaster on, is it Clement Road? Or the Creek Road? He's the best down there.
No, that would be on Door Drive.
Door Drive.
Yeah. Be fun to talk to Jack tomorrow, get his impressions of this season so far. Bates with the roll, keeper, kept himself. Bates, a big kid. I mean, when he turns the corner, you know, he can do it with some presence. He's 6'2", 185 pounds. Bates is a junior. Obviously, must be the heir apparent to Mock, I would think.
He's definitely that, and even though Justin Mock is, you know, he's showing a lot of savvy this year, and he's got a lot of experience under his belt. They don't get hurt too badly putting this Bates kid in. He's real big. I think they're impressed with him. They like the way he moves. He can handle the ball and he can throw it too.
Yeah, he can throw. We saw him complete a pass to Casarino last series. Hand off to Bassard. Bassard almost got the corner. Almost got the corner.
Took it inside and he got a pretty good hit. Another flag.
Buzzard on the carry for the Raiders. Brought down by South Burlington, number 1.
Am I pronouncing that right, Wayne? Is it Bassard or Buzzard?
The flag on the play.
I think it's Bassard.
I apologize to the family if it's not correct, but it's we'll call it Bassard.
To the 47-yard line.
That was a public service announcement.
That's right. You know, and speaking of the Bates kid at quarterback, he's 6'2". That's a nice luxury to have a big quarterback who can see the field, Butch.
Oh yeah, it's nice to have, and you're right, Wayne, too. Well put, too, Wayne. Good observation. 6'2" is a good-sized quarterback for Vermont.
I think so.
Again, it's Bassard along the right side, trying to get to the corner, turns the corner. Well, he's picked up big yardage tonight. That's a pick of about, it's got to be 7-8 yards, maybe a little bit more.
And how often can we mention it? They pull them off the bench, they get in there, they show a lot of quickness. There they are again, hitting you with Bussard.
Eric Gothard on the game for Rutland High School, and I'll tell you what, it's, you know, you're not sure how much depth you have in the offensive line. It's good to get the other kids in, the Greenos and the Delphines and those kids in on the offensive line to get them some playing experience. So just in case someone goes down on the offensive line star, you got somebody to come in and take their place.
And it's not something new to them.
And that's important. Rutland in motion. Hand out to Bussard inside, the little trap we talked about. Well, he's not going to get the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 4, maybe a long 4, maybe 5 yards. And see what Rutland decides to do here.
And that shows you the
Sweat's in the game. He must be going to punt.
You know, that shows you the versatility of the Bussard kid, and I mean, he can take it inside too, and he's what, 5'7"?
Yeah, he's not real big, but he's got that quickness. And you're right. You know, we talk about it all the time. You just can't beat quickness. You just can't teach it.
So he's not afraid to take it inside or outside.
That's right. It's Taylor and Comer deep for South Burlington. Sweat, low line drive punt. Again into the end zone. Well, Sweat tried to kick it out of bounds on the right side the last time. He tried to kick it across the field this time, and not much luck. But
well, he's just standing back there. He's picking his spots. He's really taking. He did have to go a little faster on that one, but he's still picking his spots, just taking it easy, kicking it where he wants to kick it.
Well, this is when football is fun. I mean, when you get out here and you can score this many points, and the defense just isn't going to allow. I mean, think about it. I don't know when Rice scored their touchdowns, but Rutland has gone 8 quarters without allowing a point.
I think Rice scored first against the Raiders,
well, so,
and in the first quarter.
I mean, this may be 11 quarters without allowing a point against them. That's pretty good defense.
So that means our harping about how good the defense is actually true.
Fumble. Todd Wiesel fumbled that time, but he picked up his own fumble. The new quarterback for South Burlington is Scott Conant. He's a 5'10", 150-pound junior.
That is hard to say.
I should probably take the pencil out of my mouth, and it might help me a little bit. Well, they've got Anderson on the sidelines. We're talking about Jason Anderson from South Burlington. He was the fullback for South Burlington. He has been their offense, and they're going to let him rest the rest of the night.
And a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, he played a pretty good football game. Again, handoff inside, and it doesn't matter who's in there, the Rutland defense. You're just not going to move the ball against this unit.
No, and we're coming up on about 2.5 minutes left in the game.
And who made the tackle? Alfred Walterscheid making the tackle for Rutland High School.
And I can see the fans over there really cheering.
Well, it's nice to see that kind of spirit, and obviously Alfred's a pretty popular kid in the team for the fan club to be in full bloom tonight.
Well, and again, it's the game experience.
2 people in motion that time. I don't think you can do that, Wayne. You can only do that in Canadian football, and this isn't Canadian football. Well, that time 2 people went in motion. The wingman on this side, who was supposed to get the football, just started a little too soon, and it's going to be a motion penalty against South Burlington. And it's going to be 3rd and about 18 now if Rutland takes the penalty, and I think they do. And they decline the penalty.
The legal motion is declined.
But they tell, well, see, I'm confused here, Wayne, because they blew the whistle before the play started, and they gave them the play. So
right.
Maybe they're just trying to get this one over with.
That's what I think.
1:59 to go in the football game. Sabatka and Burgoyne, we've said that all night. They must have punted 11, 12 times tonight. Talking about South Burlington. Joel back now. Into the wind, end over end. Look at the wind hold the ball up.
Wow.
Out of bounds at their own 40-yard line.
And South Burlington will be happy with that.
Well, I think they'll be happy to get back on their bus and go back to South Burlington. I mean, this has got to be frustrating for this football team. I mean, the other games they've played, they've been beaten, but they've scored, and they haven't played that badly. But you're just not going to move against this football team tonight. Minute 40 to play. That play took 19 seconds. Ken Bates, a quarterback.
And the Raider defense on the way to another shutout.
Another shutout. It looks like it's going to happen. It looks like 11 quarters. We may be wrong on the number, but at least 10, 11 quarters without a point scored against them. Bates, a quarterback. And they want a little bit more. Bates turns the right corner himself. Bates has got some acceleration at the corner.
And he's a galloper. He gets in there, and he's so tall. He gets those big legs moving.
I was a little surprised.
He's a threat.
It looked like he was going to try to throw it. I was a little surprised they were going to try to throw the ball this late in the game, but obviously the Rutland's decided the easiest thing to do is just let Bates run it and get rid of this clock.
And that's another weapon. I don't think. I'm pretty sure Coach Bureau doesn't want Mock to run the ball. So if you want the quarterback option, you got this big kid Bates to take care of you.
And let him do it. That's right. Hand off to Chuck Gallagher. Gallagher tries to jump outside and does. Well, pretty good look that time by Gallagher. He tried to get inside, couldn't get there, nothing there. Had the presence of mind to jump outside, picked up some yardage. First down yardage.
And Chuck Gallagher, he scored last week, didn't he?
He scored last week late in the game. Yes, he did. The only bad thing about that play is that he got pushed out of bounds, which stopped the clock, and you'd think you'd want to kind of keep the clock going with 56 seconds to play in this football game. And remember, right after this game, right after Wayne and I close this one out, it'll be MSJ against Middlebury. Hand off to Gallagher again inside. This time he stays inside, and Gallagher again picking up first down yardage.
How many of them were laying on the field, and Gallagher's still moving, which is characteristic of all the Raider backs this year. Absolutely,
you're right, Wayne.
You just don't stop them with that first man.
And no matter who's out there, that's actually the way it is, isn't it?
It is. It's all of them.
Hand off again. I'm not sure who that is. And that's the football game. The final score, Rutland High School 34, South Burlington nothing. And we'll be right back and close this one out.
Wait a minute.
Rutland High School, it was all Rutland High School tonight. Closing thoughts? Or clothing thoughts, either one.
Well, clothing we've got covered. I'm covered, you're covered. What more can you say? It's almost a carbon copy of the Brattleboro game. Once again, the Raider defense, they got a swarming defense. They never let South Burlington get any kind of momentum going. Then you turn it around the other side, the offense. You got Sweat, you've got Mock, you've got TJ Sabatka. The Raiders killed them tonight on all their punt returns and all their kicks. TJ had one called back. I mean, what more can they do?
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, they dominated on every end of the field, both sides of the ball. They did it last week. They did it this week. Next week, though, Mount Anthony down there. Their second away game. Always a tough place to go into. Obviously, we won't be doing the game, obviously. So, get in your cars and drive carefully, but get down to Mount Anthony and support this football team. But
and Mount Anthony be ready for them.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it's going to be a little different story, I would think, against that type of football team.
And we talked a little bit about it off the air. Rutland's had their way pretty easy for these three games. The Rice gave them a little scare early, but then the second half they picked it up and it's carried into these two games. You wonder if the Raider coaching staff is thinking, we've really had three easy games. Is this going to have any effect on when we go into a town like Mount Anthony and they've got such great support down there, and they are a quick team, and Rutland's quick. You wonder what kind of an effect that's going to have if they meet a team that is going to give them somewhat of a challenge, and how these kids will react to that.
Yeah, that's a big test, and it's going to be. I'm going to look forward to seeing that. I won't be able to see that game next week, but it's going to be interesting to see how Rutland does react to it. Obviously, they're going to be playing better competition next week. Mm-hmm. Should be on par with the people tell me with their quickness. I mean, I'm not sure you can be out quicker than Rutland, but obviously quick football team. They always are quick down there. Good football team, well coached down there. Obviously, we already know MSJ had some trouble down there.
They did.
It should be a real good football game, and again, we want to stress, get out there and support this Rutland High School football team. They're a lot of fun to watch. Get down to Bennington, watch the football game, give them some support, and see if you can bring them home with a victory.
Ditto.
Ditto. Well, listen, remember tomorrow night, right after this football game, right after we're done, we'll be showing the MSJ Middlebury game. We'll be talking to Jack Healy before the game. You won't want to miss that interview. And we'll be right back with MSJ Middlebury. Wayne, thanks a lot. You did a great job. Joe Courcelle did a great job. Bruce Nelson always does a great job. And we'll see you in a little while.
Well, if it wasn't for Bruce, none of this would be happening.
None of this would be happening.
But thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you.